Hello, Broncos Country, and it is good to be back with you. I missed you all last week. I'm not going to go into specifics. I had some health issues. I needed to take a week off. But, man, it is good to be back with you talking Broncos. Tonight on the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast, we're going to continue our march through the season and the schedule, figuring out wins, losses, just kind of previewing each and every game. We're at weeks 9 through 14 now. It's going to be a blast. We've already done weeks 1 through 8. And so far, based on everything that we've talked about, the Broncos are on a winning tear. So can they keep that going? Hypothetically, of course, can they keep that going into the back half of the 2025 season? Guys, this is going to be a fun show. Can't wait to share it with you. Welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network and on the MHRT Network. Let's go.
Smooth, the pins to chew, breaking down plays about to debut. Never pride in every view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Bright lights of my heart in our view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. From draft picks to game reviews, celebrating wins, analyzing the clues. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. No orange and blue.
Nothing rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast.
What is up, Broncos Country, and how you doing, Orange and Blue crew? Welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network and on the MHRT Network. What's up, guys? I'm Johnny the Mile High Viking Baki. With me, as always, my cousin, my co-host, my childhood best friend, my cousin Jay, the Dreamweaver Weaver. What's up, cuz? How you doing?
Doing mighty fine. Not too bad. I am exactly 4 days away from being in Denver. And all the Bronco fans out there that like every once in a while get to return to the homeland and like see the stadium and have the vibes, like I'm super jazzed, man. You just got back from there. I'm super jealous, but man, super excited.
It's been a few weeks now. It's been a few weeks now, but yeah, it was good time. It was good to be home, you know. But as you said, what would you say? The homeland, the motherland, the fatherland,
the horizon, like
yeah.
It is.
But man,
compared to middle of Nebraska, man, yeah. I mean, it's definitely
it's so different.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, at least here in Tennessee, I have rolling hills, bud. Like everywhere.
You have something.
Yeah,
we
rolling
have
hills and you have a river and corn.
Yep.
Yay!
Yeah, yes.
But, guys, thank you for joining us for tonight's edition of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. As I said, I apologize that we missed you guys last week. I was dealing with a little something and had to take a week off. So thank you for your patience and your understanding. I hope that you guys didn't, miss us too bad. But if you did, we're back. We're and unless something goes crazy wrong, we plan to be with you, as always, every single week. But, man, welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. Like I said, if this is your first time watching or you haven't before, please like, subscribe, share, comment. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Check out the audio version of our podcast everywhere you find your favorites, which I do have to apologize. There's been an issue, apparently, that I did not realize was going on. There was an issue, a technical issue going on with our audio podcast for quite some time now, and it hasn't been posting. So I'm getting that taken care of. So you'll be able to listen to the audio version soon from now on without any issues. And I do apologize about that. Also, we are partnered with the MHRT network, so please show them some love. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, even Instagram. And guys, when you subscribe to Orange and Blue Network, please make sure you ding that little notification bell, because we have a ton of amazing shows that you're not going to want to miss. Monday through Fridays at 11 a.m., we have the Orange and Blue Blitz. We have the Broncos Bros on Mondays. We have Broncos Talk on Wednesdays. Viva los Broncos for you Spanish speakers on Fridays. We also have a breaking news podcast that only comes out when there's breaking news. That's why you want that notification bell rung. And we got game day shows, both a pregame and a postgame show every single game. So guys, you want to make sure you don't miss a single moment of awesome Orange and Blue Network content this season. So Jay, how are you feeling? Any kind of energized or sleepy tonight? What are you feeling?
It's just kind of a boring sports time period, I guess, right now. I mean, there's news all about. I, for instance, have a North Dakota Fight and Sue jersey on because Dave Hackstall, a guy that I got to spend some time with in summer camps and such in Grand Forks, became an assistant coach for the Avalanche. So you got, assistant coach news. You got like Jonas Valanciunas news of like whatever translation from his native language was. He made a bunch of comments today, on the Nuggets front. Just kind of a weird, I don't know, uneventful sports day, if you will.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is you're not feeling incredibly energized. So what you might need is to hit up the sponsor of today's show, which would be W Jitterless Energy Blend. You can see it. Jay's got it in his hands right there. You can see the link in the bio below. Guys, check out W. W.GG brings you W Jitterless Energy Blend. This stuff is absolutely phenomenal. Comes in a ton of delicious flavors. It has enough caffeine to kick you in the butt and get you going and keep you going throughout your day, but without the jitters or the crash later. Why? It's easy, because W has no sugar in it. It also has no calories. It has, for those of you who are on a diet, it has no maltodextrin for you health nuts, no fillers for you health nuts, no artificial colors for health nuts and people with allergies. It is nothing but natural things. It is vitamins, amino acids, nootropics that keep you sharp throughout your day. And the caffeine is derived directly from the coffee fruit. So you get all of the wonderful, benefits of an energy drink without the jitters of the crash, or all that unhealthy crap that clogs up your system. Oh my God. It's great stuff. I'm telling you guys, you're going to want to go on, click that link in the bio, w.gg, get yourself, start getting yourself an order going and punch in code NRWOB10 at the checkout, because that's going to get you 10% off your order. Guys, I'm telling you, that's how Broncos Country should get their own dub.
Oh yeah, you bet.
So yeah, like a lot of little bitty news going on. We really didn't get to, since we were out last week. We really didn't get to talk Nuggets. No, we did not get to talk about all the stuff coming out of Nuggets Nation, man. And oh my God, Jay, I am so freaking pumped. Even with this drama of Jonas Valanciunas being a little bitch right now. About it all.
As I say, Colorado's like the greatest land all. He doesn't want to come. Like, he's the first athlete I can remember that's like, oh, absolutely not. Like, in vibes wise, I don't think he's coming. He doesn't sound like he wants to come. He doesn't sound enthused. So let him go. Write them off. Write him off.
Let him listen. I mean, I get what Wallace and what's our other general manager's name?
Tenzer.
I get what they're thinking when they're like, no, we are going to make him, fulfill his contract, blah, blah, blah. You don't want somebody on your team who doesn't want to be there.
Absolutely not. And
that is a poison to a culture.
Because that is a storyline that is, inserted into your mind that you can be reminded of in the dead of winter NBA season, when you see like certain players start slumping off, that they don't really care and they don't have a whole lot of energy and they don't have the effort. And that's just not the kind of player that we can have in the Jokic era right now. Speaking of the Jokic championship window here, he also declined his player option today, or declined an extension offer.
His extension option,
which again,
it makes sense for him.
We got victory lap in the house, screaming the Lakers from the top of the rooftops, and I saw all the photoshops of the Jokic Laker jersey today pop up again, just because
Lakers.
he's not signing.
Lakers.
$80 million, people. A cool 80 mil difference.
Come on, man.
Summer. He's obviously getting it next summer. So not to fret.
He's not leaving the Nuggets. He's just saying, I'm not signing my extension now. He stands to make. Yeah, go.
I was going to say, we will wait and see if Luka makes the same decision, because I don't think he will be signing an extension either. And we will see what happens. It's more likely Luka leaves the Lakers than Jokic leaving the Nuggets. Always is, always has been.
Yeah, we also got Big E Bronco in the house saying, "What's up, everybody?" It's good to see Big E in the house, and George Montoya. Let's go. He called Denver the Mile High Motherland. I like that.
Of course, I like that as well. That should be a T-shirt.
Our good buddy Shy Vargas, who will be the host of the segment "Get Shiped" during the game day show this upcoming season. He says, "How was your week, Jay?"
Absolutely, it's great, man. Also, last night Henry had his very first night of hockey, so I do have an official
first game?
hockey player on my his first practice. He got his jersey with his name on it and the whole shebang. It was the first start of your career.
That moment, I don't care how many seasons you go through, the first time you hold a new jersey, with your name on it in a team sport, even if it's your 17th season, the first time you hold that jersey and see your name on it, it's exciting. It's such a moment, man. I held up jerseys with my name on them from elementary all the way up to high school. It didn't matter. No matter how many times I held up that jersey, I was like, yes, that's my name. That's my number. That's my jersey. That feels good. Good.
It is.
We got Fanatic Dak.
Big deal.
It is. And I'm so proud of him. Tell him I love him and congrats. Fanatic Dak saying, let's go. What up, fellas? We got Broncos Suck saying, boo, Broncos. Welcome, boo, Broncos. Victory Lap talking Lakers for a second says Luka is priority now, and even LeBron knows it. Well, he should. LeBron's getting ready to take a nosedive off a cliff. I don't care, what anybody says. But back to the Nuggets, real quick. We got to talk our Nuggets for a minute, man, because that's
what's your favorite thing? What's your favorite move the Nuggets have made?
Ooh, that's tough. It really is hard to say, because what they really did, they brought in a starter in Cam Johnson, and that's great, because he may not have the perimeter shooting that MPJ does, but he is a solid perimeter shooter regardless. But he's got way better defense, rim defense at the post. He's a better rebounder.
Yeah,
way better rebounder.
Well, I don't know if he's necessarily a better rebounder, but man, he is much better defensively, much better in the intangibles.
Okay. Maybe not that he's a better rebounder, but he's always in a better position to get a rebound than MPJ ever put himself in.
We will have a lot more movement from him, a lot more athleticism, a lot more just activeness than our MPJ became.
Absolutely.
Huge difference, man. Huge difference getting him.
Yeah. Now bringing back Bruce Brown. Oh my God, I was so excited. Tim Hardaway Jr. Come on, man. That dude's a dog. I love Tim Hardaway Jr.
Interesting. I think everybody knew Brucey was coming back. That was a very, unkept secret for a long time. I feel like he was dropping hints on Twitter, and on Instagram and such. So super glad to have him back. I think the Tim Hardaway Jr. signing is very interesting, because we usually don't sign players like that. He's definitely I always have the green light going, and like I just have the autonomy to go shoot whenever I want. Like me,
Sure.
Players, and usually that doesn't involve with Yoke. But if they're completely separated and you never see Hardaway Jr. on the court with Jokic, that's not too bad because it's instant offense the way like Julian Crowder couldn't be. So non-Jokic minutes.
Non-Jokic minutes. But I mean, at the same time, there may come times where you see the two of them on the floor together. I want to believe everybody in the NBA should know by now the way that Joker plays. I mean, he's a human highlight reel. It's not like players haven't seen him. They should know by now. Yeah. And I think when he gets on the court with him, I think with some practice, he'll be able to, with his veteran experience, he'll be able to insert himself into the game. Yeah. And play well with Joker. Maybe not as a starter. Obviously, we didn't bring him to Denver to be a starter. Okay, like the starting offense is set. It's pretty damn well clear. It's Joker, Murray, freaking Gordon, Johnson, and Brown. That's our starters.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are the guys you're going to see.
Victory lap. Definitely. His defense is a little sus. Hardaway Jr. is a one-track pony. Like he just cares about scoring. Who said sus?
Well, I mean, Victory Lap did, and then you read it.
Oh, I see. It is sus.
You said it the other day. You remember? And I was like, "Oh, Jay, no, don't say it. Not that word."
That was not on our Newsboys episode a couple weeks ago.
No, it was not.
Similar.
Our Newsboys episode. Yeah, we're not going to go back to that. No, Hardaway's good. He's a good offensive player. Yes, his defense struggles a little, but that's why he is a bench player. Yeah. That's why he'll be on the second rotation. What do we need? What was our biggest weakness when we were going up against OKC? It was not having backups that could control the game and maintain the game while Joker and Murray sat.
Yep, some juice. We need some juice off the bench, and there was no juice.
We got it now. We got it now.
We did. Now, we have it now for sure.
The center position, that makes me nervous because we traded away our backup center to get our new center who is now likely leaving us. So we have to address that, and we have to address that well.
And unfortunately, we are up against another clock that is the Al Horford decision. So if Jonas really doesn't show up and we do not have a backup center other than the piano man, Zeke, but Al Horford could be signed in the next couple of days. It sounds like he's going to Golden State, but that's going to be a real big dip if we cannot have someone solid behind him to give him rest.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking to myself that the Nuggets really need to get on the ball and just decide if they're going to just let Valanciunas walk. Just be like, fine, you want to be gone, so we can address this now. Yeah, don't wait.
Pivot. I don't know. It'll be an interesting situation that hopefully is resolved soon because, like I said, Al Horford independently, I think, is doing his own thing. So, like, we gotta make some decisions here, folks.
If the Nuggets were to go ahead and just release Valanciunas, recamp that money, get it back.
Yeah, get some money
right,
back.
And we have way more money than Golden State does to pay Horford. Way more.
Yeah.
Like I think Golden State only has $5 to $6 million in cap space right now.
Yeah,
we have more than that. So if they can just get on the ball and get it done, man, I hope. But listen to Victory Lap here. To be honest, the Nuggets are not scaring anyone. Are you kidding, dude? Victory Lap. Jay, can I jump on my soapbox?
Well, I mean, is this going to be Laker slander?
Not necessarily Laker slander, just pro Nuggets on this one.
Oh,
okay.
I mean,
the Denver Nuggets knocked the Lakers out of the playoffs. Okay, that happened. Now, in the playoffs, the Nuggets, with 4 of their starters, really injured, and struggling, still managed to take the currently reigning champions to 7 games and kept it close. And the only thing that we were really missing was a bench. Obviously, we had some injuries, and that's because we didn't have a bench. Now we have a bench. Our guys are going to get more rest. They're not going to be as injury prone because of that. And dude, like I said, we took the reigning champs 7 games with pretty much the play of Jokic and Gordon. A little bit of Murray, some of Brown, but
I mean, I've said on X multiple times that like y'all are lucky AG pulled his hammy and like got severely injured. Looked like he did in Game 7. And really, I mean, Game 6 on the back half as well was just questionable from Gordon. I mean, it obviously.
But before that, dude, oh my gosh,
he was dynamite. Best I've seen AG.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, it'll be interesting. The Nuggets are a work in progress. The story's not over as far as off-season storylines. So not the same with the Broncos. We haven't had any news. There are no huge updates. It's just like, churning over the same thing over and over and over again until we see, some things in person.
Crickets, man.
Yep.
It's not happening right now. And that's fine. That's the Sean Payton way.
Yeah. Nothing will get out to the media when it doesn't have to. They have to do media availability. Have to do an interview.
So I think we should mix it up a bit. Obviously tonight, we're gonna continue our walk through the matchup previews. We're gonna do weeks 9 through 14. It means we're doing 5 games tonight. Obviously, the bye week is in there, but we don't need to preview a bye week. The Broncos are gonna win the bye week.
It's an automatic W.
Yeah, we're gonna preview 5 games today. We're gonna do weeks 9 through 14. And what I'm gonna do, but I wanted to do, our buddies, our new buddies. Our new show here on our network, the Broncos Bros on Monday nights. They came up with the idea for
killing it.
Yeah, absolutely killing it. 3 episodes in, they've had hundreds of views. They've been doing a phenomenal job. Hats off right now. I'm going to give them a little applause. Hats off to the Broncos.
My hat's actually coming off.
Yes. Absolutely. Hats off to the Broncos Bros and all the work they've been putting in because they've been slaying it, man. But they came up with the idea for a segment, and they've done it. They've done it once on their show, and now I want to do it here on our show. They're going to be doing some of our segments too, I believe, because they like the idea of a few of our segments that we've done. So we're going to be doing their segment. It's called 2-Minute Drill, and I want to do. And usually save the segments for the end of the show, but I want to do a segment before the meat and potatoes tonight. What do you think?
Ooh. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it early. Let's have some fun, baby. This is the 2-minute drill. There it is, the 2-minute drill. I'm pretty proud of that video, by the way. I put some work into that.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
All right, so the idea of the 2-minute drill, it's very simple, is we take a subject, right? And then we each get, since there's 2 of us and it's a 2-minute drill, each of us gets 60 seconds with a stopwatch on the screen to present our opinion, our position, our case on that subject. And after each one of us has had our 60 seconds, then we will discuss what we, the differences, the likenesses, whatever we want to about it. But it's a fun. I think it's a fun idea. You only get 60 seconds. There's a bit of pressure because there is a ticking clock. Your buddy's there going, "Hey man, 30 seconds left," and you're going, "Oh my gosh!" It's actually fun when you're put under a little pressure to get your thoughts out. So I think it's gonna be fun. So the subject
snippets.
Yeah, snippets. Sorry, you said the word. You remember?
I know.
That's my trigger word, man. Snippets.
It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh God, what a pervert. Anyway, we're gonna do this thing. All right. The subject of tonight's 2-minute drill is which running back is going to get more offensive snaps and offensive touches this season? Is it R.J. Harvey or J.K. Dobbins? And Jay, I'm going to let you go first. So let me get us all set here. We're going to get set. And, you got 1 minute. Present your case. Which running back, J.K. Dobbins or R.J. Harvey, gets more offensive snaps and more offensive touches? I want to hear both. Let's do this. Here we go. Ready, get set, and go.
All right, touches and, I would say opportunities. All of the above is going to go to J.K. Dobbins. Got a veteran on the team. He is going to be the everyday, every down back that's going to be getting the between the tackles, run, if you will, in the playbook. Yes, R.J. Harvey is going to be more explosive, but, he'll have a better average. But it's J.K. Dobbins all the way, as far
30
as
seconds.
the running back to have, the volume for our team. He's also going to be far better in pass pro. So there's going to be a lot of third down situations where JK's out there just to cover Bo Nix's butt. Dude, RJ Harvey is going to be terrific, just not in volume quite yet as a rookie. That's all I got. I'll give you some time back, John.
Oh, man. Oh, you didn't even bring it down to the buzzer, and there is a buzzer.
No. Well, then, yeah, I should have took the free time at the end, like around the horn of like my own cause.
Yeah. Okay, so for you, it's all J.K. Dobbins. All right, so
it is.
I'll get ready to go then. Here I go. Okay, so I think it's actually going to be split in a way. Okay, I think that J.K. Dobbins sees more offensive snaps than R.J. Harvey, because, to your point that you made, J.K. Dobbins is a better pass protector, which when he gets in and he's in there pass protecting for Bo Nix, that's going to be really important. That's something that we need, and I'm really excited about that. However, I think that Sean Payton has high faith in R.J. Harvey. He drafted him number 2 overall. He's only the second running back he's ever done that with. Not number 2 overall, number 2 pick for his in his draft. Yeah. Has never done that before, except for one other time. He has a lot of faith in him. I think he's going to want to get him those touches so he gets more and more NFL experience, more and more. He's a hard runner. He's a fast runner. He makes dudes miss. I really think that you're going to see more of J.K. Dobbins on the field, but you are going to see more touches for R.J. Harvey. But I think it's going to be a really close and healthy mix, and I'm right down to the wire. There we go.
I like
that.
I like that.
Isn't that fun?
It is. Well, you make a really good point about Harvey, of that, his touches in a ratio to his opportunities for a touch is going to be far better than Dobbins. I mean, you're totally right. When he's out there, he's going to be dynamite. That's super exciting to think of it in that way. I don't know.
Like I said, towards the very end of my spiel there, I think that it's going to be very close in both respects. Yeah. But ultimately, I think you'll see, if you were to, you take out the box score at the end of the season and you look at it, offensive, plays, offensive downs played will go to Dobbins. But I think that you'll see more, actual, running executions made by R.J. Harvey. I think we're both kind of on the same page, and either way, it's going to be a Sean Payton running back system. You're going to see both of them, on the field a lot. You'll see a little bit of Jaleel McLaughlin. I believe he's going to be the third. The way he's been,
interesting. I disagree.
The way he woke it up, the way he seemed to have woke up during minicamp. The things that everybody was saying about him, that he looks like a totally different player. His cuts are quicker. They're cleaner. He's faster. All of that. I really think, I know I've jumped around all off season long about Bidet, and, I was never really that high on Watson. Bidet and Estime and Jaleel, the way that Jaleel was impressing in minicamp to the, at least to the media that were out there watching, saying, like, he looks like a totally different running back to me. I don't know, man. I really think he'll be the third.
Audric Estime is the youngest player in the room, including Blake Watson.
Uh-huh.
I just kind of feel like he's being swept under the rug, and I think for a super young player like that to be benched on a playoff game is kind of a make or break for your career, like your confidence point in yourself. And I don't know, man. I think we might see a little bounce back from Audric Estime. Now, let me say it this way: I think Audric Estime has a future in the NFL, even maybe not on the Broncos if that happens. But I think like I wouldn't be completely out on Audric Estime as a player. So if he's on our roster, and I think he will be, he'll be on someone, if he's not on our roster, he'll be on someone else's roster.
He'll be on someone.
I don't know, man. I would keep him as the third, and that's what I think is going to happen. I think they keep him as the third, and I think we're on the fence about will they keep 4? And so who's the fourth? Who's the extra? Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see, man. I mean, training camp in the preseason, man, so much can change during that time. But it's like Victory Lap says right here. He says Estime is still in the doghouse. And,
yeah. I mean, he is.
I had a lot of faith. And even when I did my Denver Broncos media battle on Mike Carmelini's show against against Mundungus, I even said that I thought Estime was going to make a comeback. I really did. I believed that. That a big part of his issue last year was a mental issue. But when they go get a guy like J.K. Dobbins in free agency, and in the draft, they go get someone like R.J. Harvey, I think the writing's on the wall.
Absolutely.
And that,
he's still not going to get any snaps. Like, estimates, unless injuries happen, it's not like he's going to see the field.
Well, and I think we carry 4. I do think we'll carry 4 running backs and a fullback.
I think so.
But it's a really big question mark as to who those. We know who the first 2 are. Now it's a question mark of who are the other, 2 or 3 going to be. Sure. So, fun 2-minute drill though. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. I like that a lot.
And we got some love from George Montoya, our buddy, saying, "Great job with the 2-minute drill on the fly. My initial opinion is in line with Johnny. RJ more touches, JK more snaps."
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Victory Lap saying, "Harvey, not sure if Dobbins will last the whole season."
Well, to be fair,
that needs to be a soundbite. That needs to be a soundbite.
That does. Honestly, we need more Canadian.
How do we not have a single letter Kenny soundbite on our board?
No Trailer Park Boys. We're missing a whole demographic up north. We need.
Yeah, all the Canadian comedy, man.
He's console. Yeah, we need.
I would love to put
here.
I'd love to put F.U. Shorzy on there, but I'm not going to do that.
That's pretty good stuff. Corner Gas, for anyone that's seen that's another great Canadian show.
They're good.
I don't know, man. Interesting to say the least of the running back discussion and like who will have more than another. Do you think all between Harvey and Dobbins, do you think both of them stay healthy the entire year? I don't personally. So we're gonna see a third. We'll see a third introduced.
Here's what I will say. I think if there is any team that has the chance to keep both of them healthy all season, it's the Broncos with Bo Lowry's staff. That's what I think. Do I think it happens? I don't know. Knocking on wood, I hope so. But ultimately, if there is a team that can accomplish that, it is the Broncos. So,
there's a track record of health.
Yeah, track record
over here.
George gave us some love. After we shouted out Broncos Bros and their early successes, and he said, "Broncos Bros, all thanks to you guys. Much love." Appreciate that, George. We work together, man. Jay and I had a hand in it, but ultimately, you guys are the Broncos Bros. You guys are making your show what it is. Not
the Bros
us.
Are great, man. The Bros are great.
The Bros are great.
It is fantastic, dude.
And then Victory Lab giving us another thought here. Mims was in the doghouse, but he stepped up.
True, he was very much in the doghouse with the coaching staff, and he seems like he's very much trending up. Got a rejuvenation, rebirth out of the Sean Payton.
And then he got a 93-yard touchdown in the doghouse.
Yep. And
in the Browns' house.
It escalated quick for him. I mean, and I think, based on that, he could have a big jump this season as well. I know that a lot of people have been talking about Mims from a fantasy football perspective, because from a production standpoint, if he makes the jump, like, there's a lot of volume to get, theoretically in offense. A lot of people are high on the Broncos. It's good. It's great.
Not yet. They're going to be.
Well,
I believe it. They're going to be.
Not in an overall sense, but like, the sneaky geeks of gambling fantasy football are starting to take notice of, like, what we all understand.
Absolutely.
Kind of like the Vegas odds catching up from last year.
Victory Lap says, I do believe Jaleel will be running back 3. Maybe Beatty makes it. Bidet. Sorry, maybe Bidet makes it. Now, I want to bring up, did you see the quote by Jaleel about his childhood?
Uh-uh.
He grew up in a homeless shelter, dude.
Interesting.
Like, legit. He said, he literally said, I grew up in a homeless shelter, and I never, ever in a million years would have thought I'd be here now doing what I'm doing, wearing an NFL jersey on my back, carrying the rock. And he's like, and I'm wanting to be a not role model, but an example to those kids out there who have very little and are struggling to realize that you can make it. You can make your dreams happen. You just have to fight for it, man. I wanted to give him some props, some love, man, because that's a lot, to live in a homeless shelter and then make the NFL, man. Like, that's a pretty big deal, man. So
it very much is.
That was cool. I thought that was
a big deal. Quality of person, and man, we've got a team full of, like, high character, high quality humans. On the whole, dude, it goes to the culture that we've built. And it starts and ends with, obviously, Sean Payton and Bo Nix, because, like, both of them are kind of cut from the same cloth in that. Very wholesome and genuine.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Payton can be a little, 40 grain sandpaper sometimes, but he's real. He's real. And I bet his players love him for it. Like, no bullshit. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And that, again, you know me, Jay. You've known me all our lives, quite literally, and that I take character as a very, very important aspect of not of people, but of players, of anybody. And that's why when people are like, "Hey, bring Tyreek Hill here," I'm like, absolutely not.
Nope.
I don't ever want to see someone who breaks kids' arms and beats his girlfriends in a Broncos uniform. I don't want to see that. I understand that, yes, the guy can ball. Absolutely. Yep. I do not deny the dude can ball. I just don't want to see my Denver Broncos tainted by that kind of a person.
We're very lucky in Denver that we've been very unscathed. I mean, look, we got Jokic, who is like the most boring person in the world. And then, like Nathan McKinnon or Cale Makar, I guess, however you slice it, both those guys are like, nothing to worry about. And then PS2, stand-up citizen, an amazing, absolute human. Yeah, like, Bo Nix speaks for himself. Dude,
we already went. We did that. We went over that, last week and the week before when we talked about both or not last week, 2 weeks ago, we went over that when we talked about Bo's, when we did Bo's press conference, what he said in the press conference. And before that, when we talked about that that waitress that he tipped $10,000 to help her with her dreams. These are the kind of people that we want in Denver, because not only are they great players, not only do they set a bar for our teams, but they set a bar for human beings. And that's huge to me. I love that.
And you know what? Knock on wood, nobody's perfect. There's always skeletons in the closet, but at least that's not all over the news for, like, our players getting felonies, like the Chiefs.
The Chiefs and the Dolphins, and the Raiders.
Yeah. The Bengals have always had a reputation of that.
Speaking of, Henry Ruggs is out of jail. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I saw mumblings of that. That's, to me, like, just such a roll of the eyes. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean,
he's still
I
young.
say that. He's not going to play.
He's still young, man, and he was a high draft pick. It's stupid to say. Mike Vick did it. I don't know.
All right, yeah, maybe, but he ain't going to get no big contract coming right out the gate. He's going to be
for sure.
But he's going to be brought in on tryouts.
Do you think we'll see him in a preseason game maybe someday? You know,
yeah,
it'll be to that extent, but he'll get a jersey. Someone will give him a jersey.
You know, and the thing is, you talk about skeletons in the closet, and we'll get to our breakdown of weeks 9 through 14 here in a minute, guys. I promise. But you know, we're just shooting it right now, and I'm having fun doing it. You know, speaking of skeletons in the closet, I mean, what's that name? The name of that offensive lineman we brought in, undrafted Clay.
Oh, the P guy or the guy in the cup.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I mean,
guy in the cup.
There's a perfect example of people who have a past.
Yeah.
But that, you know, I mean, the dude.
He wasn't drafted. That's exactly why he wasn't drafted.
He wasn't drafted because he made some mistakes, but we still brought him in. And, you know, and you know, the guy talks about it, you know, he made some mistakes. Hazing is a big deal nowadays. Yep. You know, he did that back in his senior year of high school. And that came out and dropped his draft, you know, so bad. And okay, fine. But, you know, and I still don't want, you know, if he's truly apologetic, which he seemed to be, like, he's like, look, man, I was a young, dumb kid. I made a mistake.
Dude,
that's
locker room culture, man. Like that, as horrible as that to say, but like back in the days, like
culture. For me, it was military culture, man. Like, not anymore. But I mean, yeah, there was things when you got to a new unit, you had to do, you know, oh, you want to be one of us? Okay, guess what you're going to do? You know, like that stuff happened. And you know what? I believed it built better soldiers. I'm not going to sit here and say that anything's a good thing, but I am going to say that when it came to that culture, that environment, it built stronger people.
I don't think that is an offense that, like, I guess to a certain line, there is a line, obviously, but like that shouldn't have ruined his entire career, just that coming out. I don't know. It's a stupid prank. Like, it's not funny, but like, it's not like that's sexual assault or like, you know, assault on someone or like to that extent. It's not violent.
We did some pranks on dudes in our locker room once or twice, you know. I mean, heck, when I was a sophomore, we pranked a senior on the team, you know, like it was a bad idea because he was our hard-hitting defensive end, and he found out it was us, and it was a bad day in practice for us after that. But still, it did happen. I'm not condoning it. Don't anybody mistake me. I am not condoning hazing. I'm just saying it is part of a culture that has gone on a long time. It's hard to break free from those.
You know, Johnny, no one can say that we don't cover both sides. We went on about how high quality a character this team is, and then we did poke the hole in the, couple of bad apples on the tree.
Okay, here's the thing. Every team's going to have coverage. I'm going to say this. There at the beginning of a season, there's 53 men on a team. 53. Right? And then there's a whole practice squad of 11 guys, I think, is practice squad now. Is up to 11?
Something like that.
Maybe it's still 10, but I think they're trying to get it past to add an 11th spot. But all these things they happen, and you're always going to have one guy, at least one, somewhere on your team who has a dark side. You can't play the game of. You cannot bring in 53 men from different backgrounds, different lifestyles, all this stuff, and expect everybody to be a saint.
It's going to be a speed bump in the melting pot.
Yeah, there's always going to be one. But at the end of the day, if you're not building a team of felons, you know what I mean? Like when you don't have, 5 players currently like Chiefs, 5 players currently awaiting trials and stuff like that. Like that's a good thing. So. We got our buddy Ray Haas with his beautiful Orange Crush sign popping in saying, "Evening, fellas. I want Estimate to succeed, but if he is going to keep giving the ball away like Melvin Gordon, I don't want him anywhere near this team." Agreed. Yep. I mean, totally my high school coach had a rule: you fumbled the ball, you were benched.
Yep.
Like he gave one time. one time you were benched and you had to work your way back in. And that was high school ball. Now, pro football, different. I get it. But fumbling is an inexcusable offense. Ball security is very important.
Very much so.
Now, I'll say this. There are some fumble situations that can't be helped. I mean, you see dudes full two-arm, take a helmet right to the ball, and it squeezes free. You know, I mean, when a guy hits you like Kareem Jackson and knocks the ball out of two arms, that's a little unavoidable. But when you're crossing the goal line and you just squeak it free, that's unacceptable.
I think there's a difference, too, as to what other skills you bring to the table. Because if you're a speedster and you fumble the ball, I think that's a difference than a possession running back that is supposed to be toting the rock profile, fumbling the ball. And that's what Audric Estime is. He's not going to be a burner that, like, you get a home run for each one of those turnovers on average. No, you're getting, like, great, Audric Estime, you ran for 12 yards. That's, like, the season high. Congratulations. Like, that doesn't... Yeah. That doesn't equate to the turnover you just had, 2 drives ago. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Now, and Ray Hass agrees with me. His coach was the same way. He says, mine too, straight to the bench. You're out. Bonkers. Oh, I missed this one by Bonkers first. He says, I'm late to the party. How y'all doing? Glad to be back, Bonkers. Glad to be back. 1 week off sucks. I hate it. But, sometimes things happen. So.
And I'll be gone next week, so we're.
Yep. It'll be me and hopefully someone else. Someone will cover down. Okay. Someone from the network will cover down. Jay Bonkers says, Jay, I'm digging your new wall.
Thank you, sir. Got my new digs here, new setup, and figured I'd pay homage to the Nuggets side of life.
Nuggets,
counteract
Broncos.
with the Broncos.
I look at it. I now realize I've only got a little bit of Nuggets in my background here, and I'm gonna keep consolidating my stuff to make this background even tighter. But the only thing Nuggets I really have is that right up there, which is a piece of right there, piece of game used basketball with Nikola Jokic's autograph. And then I've got a couple little Funko Pops of the Nuggets down here, but beyond that. It's all Broncos for me. I can fix that though. I can get a few more Nuggets items in there. I've got them. They're around the room. I just need to get them over in here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have a lot more Broncos stuff, just not on, not in this specific area of the room.
Well, this right here, this is my newest addition was this statue of Miles.
There you go.
Yeah, my kids got me that for Father's Day, and it finally came, and I put it up last week only to get sick and not be able to do the show. But yeah, that's my newest Broncos thing is my Miles the mascot statue.
So this is an interesting I don't know why I squirreled off of this, but Miles brought it up. The squirrel of who the mascots' names are for the Broncos. And it was that there's 2, right? You got Miles and Thunder. Yeah. I always thought that the horse, the Bronco, on the scoreboard was named Bucky.
That is Bucky.
Wouldn't you consider that a standing mascot of some sorts?
In some respect, sure.
If
we're
talking like horses, Broncos in the family, like I feel like he would be part. I can consider with 3.
In a way, but the thing is, a mascot is somebody who pumps up the crowd. Who gets you excited, who's out there moving around, slapping fives, throwing pies in faces, shaking hands, dancing on the field, climbing to the top of the Jumbotron to wave a flag at the beginning of the fourth quarter. True. That's what a mascot really is. Now, granted, you can consider a mascot as something that you use to represent you. Sure.
Correct.
But when you're to me, but like when you're talking about the official mascots, the ones that you think of the live ones, and that's Miles and Thunder. Thunder runs across the field, gets the whole crowd pumped. Miles gets out there and does some dancing, shoots some T-shirts in the crowd, and has a blast doing it. Bucky is an icon.
He is, and he's traveled. He's well traveled.
Well traveled, and he will continue to be so.
He better be in the third stadium. I swear to God. Walton Penners.
The Penners, They're smart people, Jay, and they know how much that stallion statue means to the fans.
Yeah.
They would not dare build a new stadium without putting Bucky right on top.
I would riot.
They would not dare. Now, that's the thing is, I don't know if I would so much consider Bucky a mascot as an icon.
Yeah.
He sat aboard atop the jumbotron atop the scoreboard at Mile High Stadium, atop the jumbotron at Invesco and Power, all the different names it's had. Now,
Bears Stadium, I think at one point.
Yeah, I don't know if he was actually up at Bears Stadium because Bears Stadium was the baseball stadium.
Touche. Maybe it was not then.
But once Mile High Stadium was completed, I believe Bucky went up on top of the scoreboard within the first year. So
Ray Haas with a great comment. What about the blue demon horse out at DIA? Oh, yeah. You have to ask the CIA about that, Ray. We're not privy to what goes on at DIA.
Listen, Lucifer is cool. Lucifer is cool, and I know that you're not supposed to call it. You're not supposed to call it Lucifer. But it has no affiliation to the Denver Broncos, none whatsoever. The artist was not doing it as a thing for the Denver Broncos, supposedly, because even though the eye is orange and the body is blue, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it is Bronco, and so Broncos fans latch on to it, and we always will, as we should. Even though it is cursed and it does kill people. You've heard about that, right? About the death of its artist during its final construction.
I am ashamed to admit I have watched far too many conspiracy theories around DIA, John. So
I have too.
I'm plugged in.
I watch them. I don't buy into all of them, but it's fun to watch.
It is.
Ray says Blucifer. I forgot it had a name. Well, it's not officially Blucifer. That's just what a name was given to it by Denver. Because it just looks so damn evil.
It is.
But I love it. I love it a lot. All right. So you know what? We are actually way over extended now. So I've had Bonker says he's been underground DIA. Maybe hit us up in the DMs there, Bonkers, and share with us some of
we got an insider
conspiracy theories.
Have you seen the blues or the grays? How big are their saucers?
Oh God, DIA Area 51. Here we go. All right. He says hundreds of times he's been down there. Okay, we're going to be reaching out soon, Bonkers. We need to hear about some of this.
I need that scoop.
I need it. And Jay's over here like an addict. Like, I need it. I need to know. I must know.
I knew it. Dinosaurs were fake. I knew
it. All right. But for real, I digress. It is time now for us to really get into the subject of tonight's show, which is preview of weeks 9 through 14. We're going to preview each and every game, predict a win-loss record, and just kind of talk about the matchups. We've been through weeks 1 through 8, and thus far, Jay has us at 6-2. I have us at 7-1 going into week 9. So here we go, guys. Week 9, the Broncos versus. Ooh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Here we go. The Broncos at the Texans. It's going to be on Sunday, November 2nd. The last meeting between the two teams was in 2023. Houston beat up on us 22-17. So let's talk about this matchup, Jay. What are we feeling?
I hate this game. I think this is a destined L. I don't think we play well in Houston. I don't remember any game of huge success in that stadium. The only thing I remember is that's where Peyton broke the record for
Yep.
touchdowns, but other than that, like that's been a house of horrors for our team. Plus, it's coming off of 2 straight home games after London, so this is like the very first time we trek back out after London, which I think is kind of a catch as well, just from a scheduling snafu. So, man, yeah, I got this as a loss, and, like, I don't know, getting into the players and, like, sides of ball and whatnot. Houston's so well-rounded. They have a great defense. They have a great offense, although they did detract, I think, a couple offensive linemen. So they're, not going to be probably as efficient offensively next year. But, dude, they're a really good team. Do you have this as a win or a loss?
I have it as a loss. However, I think it's going to be tighter than a lot of people are giving it credit for. Now, we got to, the last time we met them there, the last time we played against Houston in Houston, we had a very slow start. Now, remember this is 2022. We have Russell Wilson, and things are not going very well at that time. It was the Hackett-Wilson era. Things were not going well. The game started out really badly, really slowly for us. We ended up being down 13-0 before we made something of a comeback, only to lose the game by, what was that? What did I say it was? The final score, 22-17, only to lose by 5 points. It sucked. But I think things are different now. CJ Stroud is still very, very talented. He'll have most of his weapons back, assuming they stay healthy. But I think that it'll be pretty close. I think both teams are very similarly built in a lot of ways. Yeah. They have a good secondary. They have Derek Stingley Jr. And he's tight. He's good. Offensively they're a really good team, but I think now we've built up to a very similar status. I mean, both of our teams were 10-7 last year.
It is going to be a weird running back room for them. I know we've been talking about our running back room, but think of theirs. Damian Pierce, who is a legit running back, like a really good running back. And then they have Nick Chubb, who they signed, on top of Joe Mixon. So they have a 3-headed monster in the running back room. I'm real interested to see how they do that. I think they'll have 2 of them out at the same time at times.
But I still believe that our defense will be able to handle.
Really good.
I do believe our defense, though, is going to be one of the run defense teams in the NFL. We were one of the better ones apparently last season. I don't remember seeing it on stats wise. We were, and we've upgraded the positions we needed to be even more stout against the run. So even with that 3-headed monster, I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. I mean, both teams went 10-7 last season.
Yeah.
So, in fact, we were fighting each other for seeding for a good while. It was only our fault to the Bengals that let them leapfrog us.
Equal, projections on that. Let's just hope that Bo Nix's sophomore year is better than CJ Stroud's sophomore year, because that's where CJ went down a tad. But they're a really good team. They're
they
are
are
from the same cloth. Young quarterback trending up.
It is that game that we just don't know. It could go either way, but I will call this an L. I'll be happy. I'll be very pleasantly surprised when it comes out a dub, but I'm going to call it an L for now. So that puts us at, by my reckoning, 7-2. By your reckoning, 6-3. So, I mean, we still have a winning record, and we move on to Week 10. Broncos versus the Raiders.
Yep.
So this one is going to be at home. Yep. And this one, we swept them last season.
Yep.
That's important to note.
This is a dreaded Thursday night game on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Weird short week for us. Coming off of a loss, maybe away in Houston, to have a short week against a division rival. That'll be an interesting game. I wonder. Here, you go ahead, Johnny. I'm going to see who the Raiders have the week before.
I'm going to bring up this comment by George real quick, talking about the Houston game. The last time we faced Houston, he said Houston only beat us because of a BSPF call on Singleton. Yeah, I mean I think it contributed to it, but I just don't think we were ready for him. And again, we got to remember that was the Russell Wilson Hackett season, and as bad as Russell Wilson was with Sean Payton, he was way worse when he was with Nathaniel Hackett, and Hackett was a blight. So, I mean, things are different now. This is a new team, a different culture. So, yeah. Who do the Raiders have the week before, Jay?
They have the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. So just kind of a normal stretch for them. Not any big whoop kind of game. Not on the road. So, like, they're going to be planned and ready for this game. And, man, we have just struggled unexpectedly over the years against Raider teams that usually get stomped on by some of the best teams in the league. So I just kind of feel like if we need to turn the page on our outlook as a team, this is the kind of game where the Broncos need to step up and show that, like, they're a top playoff team in the AFC and they trample on teams that are inferior. And I think, like, baby, like, this is the game to just, let loose. I hope it happens. I'm scared.
Here's the thing. Things are different, for the Raiders this season as well. I mean, new quarterback, new coach. Granted, they had to wheel him out from Shady Acres old folks home. Get him gum stock for Las Vegas has got to be through the roof. Like, so much smacking going on. Yeah, but real quick, Mundungus is in the house. He says, "What up, Buttercup?" And Jay, Mathis sucks. Weaver.
Hey, Mundungus, we've already lost the number 27, okay? Leave our camp alone. We only got probably another month left of the Damari Mathis club. All right? Don't rain on my Damari Mathis parade at the very end.
You sound like Chris Crocker, dude. You sound like Chris Crocker in 2003. Leave Brittany alone. Yeah. Leave Damari alone.
Poor Damari. He's down bad. Down bad, man.
Anyway,
he'll find a home.
It's different. They have a really good wide receiver they got in the draft. They got a new running back, a really good running back, or at least
a really good running back.
I'm still gonna sit here and say that Genty hasn't proven shit because the dude ran all over the Mountain West. Whoop-de-doo. But
didn't you watch the Oregon game?
Every
other
no.
Okay, one game.
I'll wait and see.
You're right.
I'll wait and see. But on paper they have a really good running back. On paper they have a really good new wide receiver. They still have Max Crosby. Can't count that dude out. They got Geno Smith who has had some success up in Seattle. But I mean, the dude's been around and has had
a good serviceable quarterback.
And again,
high floor. He's a high floor quarterback.
Sure. Low ceiling. It's a little high.
Yeah, but I mean, he ain't gonna lose you games.
Oh, come on. Mundungus is really coming at you. Jay says I was going to agree with one of the comments on Twitter, but then I remembered that you love Mathis, and so then I was questioning, can I really trust this guy?
Mundungus, every time you have that thought, just say, oh, you can trust me. You can trust me. Yeah, Come on. We're fellow Nebraskans. You can trust the Midwest guy. Just pitchfork right in the ground.
Yeah. But anyway, but the Raiders, I still believe the Broncos are going to have their number. I think that we have a better balanced team all around. Our secondary we're a better team. Our secondary is going to be just swallowing the running game. Their defense is very rough. They got Max Crosby. Congratulations. That's what you got going for you is Max Crosby on defense.
Yep.
So,
And
I don't know.
and,
It's a dub. It's a dub.
Yep, that's a dub. Dubs around. That's a good dub too.
So now here in week 10, the Broncos, by my reckoning, are 8-2, and by Jay's are 7-3.
Yep.
So we can swing right along, right into another divisional matchup against the Chiefs at home. So we get 2 divisional games at home in a row. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's wild.
Granted, it's kind of a mini bye because of the Thursday night game. A couple extra days
a little bit of a longer week. It's midday game, or afternoon game at home against the Chiefs. Our last meeting, we destroyed them 38-0. A lot of people are going to have this one, have the Chiefs down for this one, to win this one. I don't. I have this one as a win for the Broncos. The Broncos, regardless of the fact that in that final game of the 2024 season, regular season against the Chiefs, we decimated them 38-0 against their backups. What we did against their starters earlier in the season, we had that game. That was our game. The only thing that saved it for them was a lucky field goal block. That was against Patrick Mahomes. That was against Patrick Mahomes and his cast. And Bo Nix outperformed Patrick Mahomes in that game, and our defense is better now. Travis Kelce ain't getting any younger.
Yep.
I don't think he's the weapon he once was. Do you?
No, absolutely not. I mean, theoretically, Kansas City should take a step back. They also had a crap ton of victories by extremely small margins, swing games last year. That even if they split, half of those in half of those lucky one possession wins, or last minute, penalty documented wins. Like, even if half of those go wrong, they're not going to be, we won't see them the same way. I think this is an easy dub. I really think this is the game that we circle to prove ourselves. This is the game, because we know, not to fast forward here, but we know Christmas night in Kansas City, that's not going to bode well for us. So we have to split in division with them. Have to, at bare minimum.
Have to.
So this is a must-win game.
But here's the thing. I still think the Broncos would even be in on that game in Kansas City on Christmas.
Dude, it's going to be rough, man.
It's going to be rough. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game. But we did it. We did it to them. We had them. We had them by the nuts at Arrowhead last season. We can do that again. And like you said, the Chiefs had so many one score wins by almost sheer luck all season long. That is not a sustainable thing. Brittany Mahomes is gonna run out of goats to be sacrificing to the to her black magic for the game.
All the 13-year-old girls in the country on Christmas night are not going to tune in to see Taylor Swift upset because the Chiefs lost on Christmas.
Well, I got news for you, buddy. I think there's a good chance that they will. I really do.
I don't know if the NFL let that happen, man.
I don't care what the NFL says. I don't think Sean Payton is going to listen to him.
But like we both are saying in this, because there's so much of a risk in that game, because that's such a toss-up, this at-home game is the most must-win game on the schedule, you could argue. This is the game. This is the most important one. The regular season Super Bowl. Gotta happen.
Now we do have to remember Rashee Rice will be in this one. I guess they're going to let him out of county lockup for the game.
Dude, I don't think he's even going to get suspended. I don't think there will be any discipline.
No, I don't think so either. I'm just more or less commenting on on their roster of felons once again.
Yeah.
But he will be in the game, and he will be one of those wide receivers that's in this league right now that I think can I don't think can really shut down the dominance of Patrick Mahomes or Pat Surtain, but he will pose a significant threat. So, our boys will have their work cut out for them.
Very much so. I mean, it's going to be a really intense game because I think Kansas City looks at us in the same manner of like, ooh, we have to squash these guys on the road. Like to sweep Denver would be a massive, burst for them in their season as far as seeding goes. If they are on,
I'd love to point out that the Chiefs are respecting the crap out of the Broncos right now.
Absolutely.
When they were on Radio Row for the Super Bowl, a lot of those guys, including Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes themselves, and even Andy Reid himself. No, not Andy Reid. Who is their defensive coordinator?
Oh my gosh,
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but even he was like, mad respect on those dudes. They are going to be scary in this division.
Yeah.
So they even the players, coaches of the Chiefs are starting to recognize
our in-division games are going to be off the hook this year. Think about all of the head coaches in our division: Sean Payton, Andy Reid, Pete Carroll, and John Harbaugh.
And John Harbaugh, yeah.
Those are all like old heads that know exactly what they're doing. There's no training wheels involved. Like
they're all future legends, or they're all legends right now.
Yeah. I mean, Harbaugh hasn't done tons in the NFL, but like that, I mean, that could be a Hall of Fame division of coaches. Literally, every one of them.
Yeah, Harbaugh hasn't done a lot in NFL. But he's up there with names, he's up there with like the names in college football, like Nick Saban. He's a household name. You say John Harbaugh, people know who you're talking about, even if he hasn't done that much in the NFL. And again, in Pete Carroll, Super Bowl winning head coach, Sean Payton, Super Bowl winning head coach, Andy Reid, Super Bowl winning head coach. That it's a veritable slobber knocker here in the AFC West, man. It's crazy.
And I'm sorry, I said John. I'm pretty sure it's Jim. Isn't that flipped? Isn't John Baltimore? He's Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, I think it's
khaki pants man. Khaki pants man.
They look the same. They act the same. They talk the same. Who cares? They both start with J. J Harbaugh, whichever J Harbaugh it is.
Yeah.
Jimmer John. Jimmy John's. I love Jimmy John's. Ooh, I'm hungry.
Love Jimmy
I want
John's.
a sandwich.
Yeah.
I want a sandwich now, Jay.
Get myself a Billy Club with barbecue chips. Woo!
Give me the classic Italian with
there you go.
with extra Jimmy peppers.
There you go.
Yes.
Top
All right.
stuff there.
Oh, Bonkers Broncos says no. I don't know what he's saying no to, but
all of it.
It's not Jimmy John's. I love Jimmy John's. It's not as good as Jersey Mike's, though. Jersey Mike's is way better.
I mean, so the price tag reflects.
Oh yeah. Well, it's worth it. Okay.
Yeah.
You get the Jersey Mike's, man, with the salt and the pepper, the vinegar, the oil. Oh, it's it's
weird to think of. Now Michael Porter Jr. is in Jersey. That's a real opportunity for him. I hope he signs up for that.
Yeah, right.
Mike's.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's funny. All right, so let's move on. We both say this is a dub, right?
Yep.
All right, 11 and 2 and 8-3. No.
Yep.
Why did I say 11 and 2? I'm not there yet.
No.
9 and 2, 8-3. Sorry.
Yep.
9
and 2, 8.
Sorry, I'm tired. Okay. I had a long day at work.
3. I got 3 losses. You got 2.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm tired. We still, like it or not, I still have, Jay and I still have day jobs. But anyway, I did 10 hours today too. I did some overtime, so I'm tired. All right. So moving on. We beat the Chiefs. Now we go back on the road. Oh, well, sorry. We have week 12. Really important week. Really, really important week, Jay.
The bye.
I mean, it's the bye week. We have to win the bye.
Oh, we absolutely will. No question.
No, we
Get
win the
all
bye.
healed up.
I
Everyone's
love the
good to
fact
go.
that we have a later in the season bye week,
Yep.
or a chance to heal up some players that have been banged up on the front stretch. So that's a good, knocking on wood. There's knock on wood. There's not going to be any injured players by week 12, but it's good to have that later season bye, not the early. So I like that.
It is. Late enough where you can make a second half push where it's not really a second half. It's like, all right, coming out of the bye, we're not losing the game. Like, you got to go into playoff mode then for a run.
Sure.
That's exciting. I don't like early
I
buys
agree.
at all.
No, early buys are the worst.
Yep.
Early buys are the absolute worst, man, because then you got to slog it out through the backward stretch of the season,
Yep.
and just getting your ass handed to you the whole time. No, that sucks. That sucks.
We lucked out in that. We definitely did luck out on that.
That we did, yes. All right. So moving on now, we go on into week 13. It's a Sunday. It is a Sunday night football game. Broncos at Commanders. This is going to be the one the whole nation's got its eyes on, based on, Jaden versus Bo. I mean, everybody's going to be watching this one like under a magnifying glass. What do you think? What do you think about this one, Jay?
I have this down as a loss overall. I think Washington is going to be the best team in the NFC. And I think this is again, a hallmark game for the league, and that's why it's on national television. And, Cliff Kingsbury is a wizard. And I just, this offense is going to be really hard to beat, I feel like. And their defense is not bad either. It's just a very good football team. That's why they went to the NFC Championship game last year. In the same sense as what we just spoke about earlier in the schedule of going to Philadelphia and being like, well, that's like not going to happen. This is, to me, saying, oh, that's not going to happen. Like, okay. And that's okay. And that's okay to me. What do you feel?
Okay, here's what I feel. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there now. I probably should have thrown it out there earlier. On paper, the way that this team is our team, the Broncos, is currently laid out in terms of personnel, in terms of what we were able to accomplish last season, upgrades, to me, what are obvious upgrades in all aspects,
Definitely.
in everything that we had weaknesses in my opinion. I think the Broncos, and I believe I said this back during, maybe it was right after the draft, or it could have been, I think it was during our schedule release mega show. I think the Broncos have the potential to compete with any team in the NFL. Because I said it even for week 5 against Philadelphia, that I thought that the Broncos, it wasn't going to be a blowout. I
would agree with that. Every game is obtainable. But
that every game is attainable, and the Broncos are going to be in it. This is one of those ones. I believe that Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix were very similar in a lot of ways last season. I believe that both teams have phenomenal defenses. Broncos is better. Offensively, I think that we have upgraded in a lot of ways. And so I think that the Broncos can keep it close and have a chance at taking this one home. I do also count this one as an L right now. But I will not say that the Broncos can't walk in there and upset Vegas on this one. The last time the Broncos took on the Commanders was also in 2023. We lost by 2 points, 35-33. Again, that's the Wilson Hackett year. I guess, no, that was Peyton. That was Peyton and Wilson. I'm sorry. Lost by 2 points. They were 12-5 last season. We were 10-7. So they were a little bit ahead of us. But the NFC was not as, in my opinion,
sure.
It was an easier conference to win in. Deebo Samuel is there now, though. That's something to pay attention to.
They have a lot of weapons. They have a extremely dynamic offensive coordinator. But to your point, we probably have on paper the best defense in the league. So, like, if there's any matchup, they should look at their schedule and say, that's not a good matchup. It would be our team. So, like, I've tried to go through and kind of think about how our opponents would view us, since we are like an actual contending team with, strengths recognized throughout the league. And like, this has got to be a worrisome game if I'm Cliff Kingsbury. So to your point, I don't think there's going to be any blowouts. I think we'll be in every game. But man, this is just going to be a rough one. I feel like from prime time on the road, East Coast is just a lot of factors.
And let's be honest, we've never been a great team on the East Coast. So.
I declare.
It's true.
So
it's very true. So L for me, L for you.
L for me. So we are now.
Love.
L for love.
L for love.
So this is week 14.
Yep.
And
so that is 4 losses.
You have 4 losses. I have 3. Right now. So with that, with the bye week, that puts us at what, 9? Me at 9-3.
Yep.
And you at 8-4.
Yep.
So I mean, still winning record. We're making the playoffs.
True. Hey.
Looks like.
Yep.
So
very much.
This will bring us to the last game we're covering tonight, and it's back to the Raiders. But now we're in Las Vegas. So, Now, usually Vegas gives an edge advantage to the home team, or at least a 1-point advantage to the home team. However, let's be honest, going to Vegas isn't an away game as much as it is going to certain other places. Vegas doesn't give a crap about the Raiders. It's one of those stadiums. You go there, you look around, half the stadium is wearing the opposing team's colors.
And the other half's drunk.
And the other half's is waiting to beat the police outside the gates. But the Broncos have already beaten the Raiders by our reckoning, by our estimation. We've already beaten them only 3 games before this. Now we're in their home going against them. What do you think, Jay?
I know you're not going to like this, but this is my one game out of them this year. This is the one and again, another foreshadowing. It's either this game or the Jacksonville game coming up here that is like my circle on the schedule of like, ooh, we could have an game here. And that's a game to overlook. Yeah, your game that you're like, oh, this is on paper, we're going to dominate. We don't need to like come with our A game. Let's have a quick rest. So I don't know if our intensity will be there. I don't know. Very interesting game. What do you think?
It's a dub.
It's a dub.
The Broncos sweep the Raiders this season. You heard it here first. You heard it here. The Broncos sweep the Raiders again this season. Now, it will be closer than the game was in Denver. It will be closer. They're going to be a bit of a wounded animal at that point. I believe that they'll have already been walked on by the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Chiefs. And they're going to be, you back a wounded animal into a corner, they're more dangerous. However, I still believe their defense is not going to have what it takes to take on our offense. And I do believe that our defense is better than their offense. And it's going to be closer, but I still believe the Broncos pull this one out. And we get a dub. We get another dub against the Raiders. So you're giving them an L on this one?
I am. I'm an 8-5 guy now.
8-5. All right, which puts me firmly at 10-3. So I'm still at only 3 losses on the season. I don't know. I mean, I can't see. The Raiders are on. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, here's the recipe in which I see that could go for a loss for us. Is that, again, it's an overload game, so we don't come with the same intensity and effort. And the way that can be exposed is in the run game, which we already, at certain instances, have really struggled to, personify a running defense that just can grind down and stop the run if we know the run's coming. And Ashton Genty is the kind of running back that could do that. So I just don't want to lose the game of grind it possession with the Raiders that we're just having a slugfest on a day we just don't care about. It's just a bad recipe to me. I don't know. That's the only way I see that happening.
I could see it, but I feel like our defense is too good, and their offense is too young. Does that make sense?
Yeah, in its infancy of togetherness.
Granted, we are at this point 14 weeks into the season, so they've figured some things out. But I just don't think that they're there yet. I think the Raiders are on a track to be more successful over the next few seasons. They're on the right track as long as Mark Davis keeps his, mouth shut and his ideas in his stupid little backpack, or in his sweatpant pockets, or maybe in his barber's tip jar. Again, although I don't know why I would ever tip that barber, but but I do not think that they are there yet. I think the Broncos and the Chargers are much closer to that than they have been, and the Raiders are still playing catch up.
Yeah,
and
paper,
speaking
for
of,
sure, we should roll them.
Speaking of Chargers fans, we got Hero, or is it Hero or Hero?
I think it's Hero.
Yeah.
Yes.
Either way, he's one of our newer fans to the network, but we love him. He's a Chargers fan, and he's popping into the house right now saying, "Sup, Pony Boys?" Hey, dude, I love that nickname. Call me Pony Boy all day long. I'll stay golden.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, he makes the Outsiders reference already. I see.
Yeah.
But
I'm counting 2 outsiders. Stay golden, Pony Boys. I'll stay gold, baby. I'll stay gold. Although and I'm Johnny in the Outsiders. There it is. I'm Johnny.
Hey,
yeah. Literally, in my top 5 all-time favorite movies is The Outsiders.
Really?
Yes. One of the greatest.
I'm not cool.
Huh?
No, I was gonna say I had bad feelings because that's a book you have to read in school. I don't like being made to read things. So I always looked at that as like, well, I'm not seeing the movie because some dumb teacher made me read the book.
Have you not seen the movie The Outsiders?
I've not sat down and watched the entire thing, but I've seen parts of.
Jay, you
read the
are
book.
my family.
Ask me about the book.
No.
I've read the book.
No. You are my family. You are my cousin, and I love you. But if you do not sit down and watch The Outsiders from beginning to end, I will disown you.
Well,
it is one of
I'll take
all-time.
Gander.
It is okay. I'm just going to say this. We have a few minutes left. I'm going to say this. One of the all-time greatest cast assemblies of all time. I'm talking. I mean, C. Thomas Howell, Ralph Macchio, Matt Dillon, Tom Cruise, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe. Who am I missing? Emilio Estevez. And then absolutely. And then you had Diane Lane in there. I mean, dude,
wow.
The cast was incredible. The story was phenomenal, even though we'd all read the book, and the movie followed the book very well. But when you actually watch the movie,
I've seen the movie.
No, you haven't, because I've read the book. I love the book. I liked the book. Okay, I've read it once. Okay, I don't repeat. I read a lot of books because I'm a reader. I have never reread The Outsiders, but the one time in school. However, the movie, I watch it at least 2 times a year.
Interesting. Wow.
I'm telling you, I've got to see the movie. Anyway, let's see.
We went
what?
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Hero. Do it.
No, no. I was just gonna say we went from a Newsboys episode to going to an Outsiders episode. We should have alternative tags to these through the time.
Listen, our show is different. What makes our show, our network, different from others out there is that our whole goal has always been that it feels more like, while there's analytics and all that, our fans know us. They get to know us on a personal level. And these kind of talks is how they do that. Like when they see me out.
Just a bunch of guys talking sports, like at the end of the day.
But we talk a little bit of everything too. We talk a little bit of other things. Who knows?
Obviously,
maybe somebody watching the show right now will be like, oh shit, I've never watched The Outsiders. Maybe I should watch that.
If we can just inspire one person out there to watch The Outsiders.
my life will be complete. But my point is, like, our goal for this network has always been that if you run into us at a game or out in public or whatever, at some point, that the people who watch our show are like, hey, I know you. Like, I really know you. Not just like the guy that talks football. I feel like we're friends at this point, and that's always been our goal.
It's to that point, but we also can talk about the second string right guard discussion in training camp. Like, we can do both things. That's
our foundation is Broncos. Yeah. But then we can talk about everything else, including life. Yep. So life
and Frank Crum. Both things.
Yeah. Ray Haas agrees with me, man. Hell of a cast. And we had Hero say, haha, you are my family and I love you. I will disown you. Love the chemistry. No, and Hero, for if you didn't know this, Jay and I are first cousins, born 1 year apart. Literally raised together like brothers in a lot of ways. So we truly are family. Not just like not like, Dominic Toretto family. Like, Jay and I truly are blood family, but we are truly very, very close that way. So, let's see. Hero says it's so cool here. Way better than the Jelly Raiders. Ray Haas agreed with me about The Outsiders, said hell of a cast. Ray Haas said one of the few times the movie is at least as good as the book.
Okay. Well, Ray, I'm going to go watch it because you said it. You gave the Ray Haas stamp of approval. I'm going to go watch
serious.
it.
Hero gives us one last little bit of love here, and then we'll get out of here. He says, you guys are legit and so cool. I love the atmosphere from a personal level. Thank you. Thank you, Hero. We really appreciate that and hope that, we get to see you again in here sometime very soon. So, Jay, at the end of it all, at the end of this episode, we've gone through weeks 1 through 14. You have the Broncos, what did you say, at 8-4? 5? No, 8-5.
No, 8-5. Yeah, correct. Because I have that as
5 losses so far for us.
I got 5 losses.
And I have us at 9-4. No, 9-3.
3. 9-3.
10-3.
Because you have the win, 10-3. Yep. Correct.
So we'll keep it on going, man. Next week we're gonna do the same kind of shit. We're gonna bullshit around a little bit and have some fun, and then we're gonna break down the last 4 games of the season, weeks 15 through 18. And bro, it's gonna be a good time, man. So, to everybody that joined us tonight and after the fact, thank you for joining us. We love you. We appreciate you. If you have not already, there you go. Your old coach is on as a Avs coach now. That's crazy, man.
Backstall.
Yeah, that's right. If you have not already, or this is your first time here, please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and comment on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Check us out on the audio version of the podcast on all your favorites. Ding that little notification bell so that you know when all of our awesome shows go live and you don't miss anything. Because Monday through Friday, we have Orange and Blue Blitz. We also have Broncos Bros on Monday. This show every Tuesday. Broncos Talk every Wednesday. For the Spanish speakers, we have Viva los Broncos on Fridays. We have a breaking news show only when there's breaking news called Fresh Squeeze. And we have the Get Bucked Game Day show and the Buck Your Feelings post-game show during the season, every game. Guys, you don't want to miss any of our awesome content. Trust me. Don't forget, we're also partnered with the MHRT Network. So if you haven't already, like, subscribe, share, comment, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, even on Instagram. Show them the love as well. They would greatly appreciate it just as much as we would. We will be back next Tuesday for another episode of Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. Don't forget to check out Orange and Blue Blitz tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Mountain and Broncos Talk tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Mountain. Sorry, the times. 6 p.m. Mountain. Guys, thank you for joining us. We love you, and we will be back next week. Until then, mile high salute. Go Broncos. And remember, many things may rhyme with blue, it's true, but real Broncos country knows that nothing rhymes with orange and blue.
Orange and blue, we're here for you. Talking Broncos all day through. No stopping us, we're on the loose. Come join the crew, no bad news. Podcast vibes so fresh and true. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Catching up on all that we knew. Hit play, let the episodes accrue. Nothing rhymes.